On day 1, I spawned in as a baby shulker in an end city. Whoa, I only have 8 hearts.
Glad you made it, son. Let me teach you something.
My dad showed me how to use my special ability, the shulker bullet.
Just fire, and it'll follow your enemies. Once it hits, they'll levitate for 10 seconds and usually fall to their deaths.
That's awesome. Let me try. I used my abilities on some endermite pests, and it worked just like Dad said it would.
Son, the reason I'm telling you this is so you know how to fight the Enderman.
What? Why? Are we at war with them?
They aren't too fond of us as of late.
Well, look what we have here. A father-son bonding moment. How sweet.
What do you want with us?
It's time for you to leave the end city for good.
Just then, my dad vanished into thin air. Dad, where are you? Why did you do that?
Oh, you think you're safe? Why don't you go join him, you brat?
No, no, no! Suddenly, I was teleported away from the end city and into the overworld. What the heck? Dad, are you here? I looked around for a while to see if I could find my dad, but he never showed up. Everything looks so odd here. What's with all the green? I better keep searching. For day 2, I thought, why not make the most of my situation? I know Dad would. It's not so bad here, I guess. I began knocking down trees and used some wood to make wooden tools, such as a pickaxe. Look at me go. I quickly used the wooden pickaxe to mine some stone so that I could upgrade my tools. I made a stone axe, sword, pickaxe, hoe, and a shovel. These will come in handy. It began to get dark, and I ran into some zombies. Maybe if I hide, they won't see me? No, I better just fight. The zombies began to push in onto me. I used my shulker bullets to defend myself. Take this, you undead monsters. I watched the zombies float up in the air and then fall to their deaths. Eventually, I was able to defeat all the zombies and claim victory. Rotten flesh. I wonder how it tastes. Ugh, that was gross. Oh, it is healing me. After a long day, I decided to find a little nook to rest in. On day 3, I figured I would be here for a while, so I decided to make myself at home. I need to find a good spot to build a base. I started looking around and found a nice spot to call home, so I began cutting down a bunch of trees to gather my materials. All right, I think I have enough wood. Let's get to work. I then started building a little home so I could be safe from the zombies and other enemies. This should protect me from the mutant enderman. After building the structure of my base, I headed out to go mining for lots of stone and coal. Nice, I got what I need. I then went back to the base and used the stone and coal I had gathered to make a bunch of chests and furnaces and began placing them around my home. As I was working, I suddenly heard 2 entities talking outside of my home. So I looked out my door to see what it could be. Who's out there? I then noticed that it was 2 rebel endermen, and they were talking about looking for any remaining shulkers in the overworld.
Once we find them, we will eliminate them for good.
Oh no, I need to stay hidden. As worried as I was, I made sure to be sneaky and listened some more. I then heard them talking about their near-death experience with a big shulker.
That crazy shulker almost killed us. We can't let him get away with this.
That must be Dad. That means he's probably still alive.
Oh well, we better keep looking before our heads are on the chopping block. Come on.
I waited for them to leave and then started thinking of ways to find my father. I knew it would be a long journey, so I made sure to rest up before I could head out. From days 4 through 5, I was beginning to get hungry. My stomach is growling. Let's see what I can find around here. As I traveled, I started getting the feeling that something was watching me. So I turned around and noticed an enderman with multiple eyes staring back at me. Get away from me, you freak! I was startled and started rolling as fast as I could away from it. And eventually, it seemed like I had lost it. Phew. That was close. Once the coast was clear, I continued traveling and spotted a group of sheep, so I went in for the kill using my shulker bullets. Come here, little sheep. I sent the sheep flying into the air with my weapon, killing them when they landed on the ground. Ooh, nice! This will make for a delicious feast. I started gathering their meat and wool, and then headed back home so I could start cooking. While I was warming up the meat, I decided to use the wool to make myself a nice warm bed. I then ate the meat and grew into a full-sized shulker. Whoa! Now I have 15 hearts. After a long day of preparation, I headed to bed for a good night's rest, not knowing what was outside the base. On the night of day 6, I dreamt of the mutant enderman. Hey, it's you again!
Stay for a while if you can. I doubt you'll be here much longer.
What do you want?
Oh, you know, the basics. All shulkers to be eradicated from this world and turn the end into my Enderman kingdom.
I don't understand. Why can't you share with other creatures that live in the end?
Because I want power and a large army. Your kind would just get in the way. Besides, it's called the End for a reason, can't you see? Enderman, it's in the name, therefore it belongs to me.
You're wrong. Shulkers are underestimated, but we have the potential to become the strongest in the world.
Well, only time will tell. In the meantime, I got my men looking for you. It'll only be a matter of time before you're dead.
I'll stop you and all your cronies. Just watch.
Even if you do manage to stop me, which you won't, my son will be next to take the throne.
No, no! In a flash, I woke up and realized the darkness that awaited me. On days 7 through 9, I couldn't stop thinking about the horrible dream I had, but I knew I had to get busy, so I headed out to go mining. I need to find a way to stop him. As I traveled through the caves, I ran into a thumpling, a strange-looking Enderman with a big nose. Stay back, you fool! Using my shulker bullets, I started shooting the Enderman, and just as I finished killing him, more thumplings showed up, ready to fight. There's more! I fought as many as I could, and just as I was being bombarded by them, a purper golem showed up and started helping me battle. Okay, big guy, thanks. The purper golem used their unique power of the void to help me fight, and with our combined forces, we defeated the thumplings. Thank you for helping me. What brought you here in the first place? He told me he was banished to the overworld by the mutant Enderman, and he had been fighting many of them ever since. Ah, I see. Well, I have a similar story. I then shared my experience with him and asked if he wanted to team up, since we had some things in common. So what do you say? Awesome. Hey, what's your name anyway? Nice to meet you, Kevin. I'm Bronzo. Want to go with me to my base? I was glad to have a new friend tag along in my journey. I then led Kevin and we made our way back home. On days 10 through 12, we were back home and I began smelting all of the iron I had collected from mining. All right, let's make some tools. I then used the smelted iron to make some iron tools and a shield, as well as an entire armor set. I even had some left over for a bucket. I'll use this to collect some water. As I headed out with my bucket, I noticed that I was being stalked by the same watchling from earlier. But this time, they brought backup. That creep is gonna learn a lesson. Luckily, I had Kevin to help me, and together, we charged at the watchlings and began fighting them. You're going down. Or up with my shulker bullets. As we were fighting, I accidentally spilled some water on them and noticed they didn't like it. Haha, you're afraid of water. Have some more. Eventually, Kevin and I used all of our power and we were able to defeat the watchlings. Yes, we did it. Good job, Kevin. After the fight, I decided to make a moat around the base and then filled it up with water to ward off the Endermen. This should keep them away. From days 13 through 15, I continued to work on the base, making it much larger with 2 stories. And this time, I had Kevin help me out. This looks epic! Out of the blue, we were visited by some Ender Grade. Hey guys, welcome to my base. You guys must have been banished by the mutant Enderman too, huh?
Yes, we were. Can we please have some food?
Guys, I'd love to help, but all I have is apples. It won't do any good.
Yeah, we need chorus fruit to survive.
I felt bad because I knew you could only get chorus fruit from the end, and I had no way of getting back there at the moment.
Oh my, thank you, Purper Golem. You're far too kind. We'll be on our way now.
Wow, that was really nice of you, Kevin. Thanks. The end will end. I couldn't have said it any better myself. From days 16 to 19, I went looking for my dad, wondering where he might be, if he is even still alive. I hope you're okay, Dad. While traveling, I ran into some Ender Guardians, little Endermen with bows and arrows. One even used these void-like arrows. You think I'm scared of you? This is why I have a shield, you dummies. I continued fighting, using my sword and my shulker bullets, until I finally killed them all. This one even dropped a bow, and some void shatter arrows. Kevin finally showed up, so I let him inspect the arrows, and he told me if I want to make more, I'm going to need some glowstone dust. The nether? Guess I gotta go there soon, but not for another few days. I'm not ready for that challenge yet. In the meantime, I want to make as many arrows as I could, so I went looking for gravel, and lots of it. Nice! Some flint. If only there was a faster way to get flint, but alas, this is the way. Now that I had my flint, I needed feathers, so I went to the closest village I could find, and luckily, they had some chickens. Sorry, chickens, but it's for the greater good. I started killing all of them, until someone noticed what I was doing.
Stop! Those chickens do not belong to you!
This iron golem was not happy with me and started attacking, so I shot it with my shulker bullet.
What is this sorcery? Put me down, please! I beg of you!
Okay. Abracadabra! The golem then fell back down, taking a bit of damage.
Oof, that was awful! You are too powerful! I'm getting out of here!
Now that was done, I headed home with my materials and got right to work making as many arrows as I could. Perfect. Now I can fight even faster. On days 20 through 23, I realized I needed some better weapons, so I headed out to go mining for diamonds. Hopefully it's my lucky day. Sure enough, I found plenty of diamonds. Enough to make a diamond sword, an axe, and a pickaxe. After making my tools, I then went mining for lots of obsidian, so I could build a nether portal. Once I gathered enough materials, I asked Kevin if he wanted to join me on my journey to the nether. Hey Kev, want to tag along? Alright, you can protect the base while I'm gone. After talking to Kevin, I then made the portal, and once it was ready, it was time to head into the nether. Here goes nothing. Once I reached the nether, I arrived next to a fortress and started looking around to make sure there were no weird monsters. I don't see any creeps around here, so that's good. I then remembered I needed blaze rods so I could make the Eyes of Ender. I wandered through the fortress until I finally found a couple blazes. So I took out my void arrows and shield and began fighting them. Die, you fiery monsters! Once I killed several of them, I was able to gather their blaze rods and take them back with me as I left the fortress. From days 24 to 28, as I was exploring, I got attacked by some ghast who shot fire at me. If you want to fight, it's a fight you'll get. My shulker bullets didn't really do much to them since they could already float, but eventually the 2 hearts of damage impacted them, killing them. Ooh, ghast's tears. That might come in handy later. I took the items with me and then began mining for glowstone to retrieve the dust. And as I was wandering around, I met with a crimsoner, an enderman that had been molded with crimson. Oh, hey there.
Hello, I need to warn you, I'm sure you know about the mutant endermen, and I must let you know that after they take over the end, they will go for the overworld and then the nether.
I met the enderman. In fact, I've already started planning ways in which I could take him down. I just need to figure out what to do.
I see, that monster is pure evil. If you can, please stop him before he gets to my home.
I promise I will do my best to help you. I'll make sure of it. I won't let you down.
Thank you, the world is counting on you.
I needed to plan out my attack as soon as possible and make sure everyone was safe from the mutant enderman. So I headed back to the portal. As soon as I got to the portal, it was covered with magma cubes. So I pulled out my weapon and got ready to attack. Ah, get away from me, you freaks! Although there were a bunch that I needed to fight and they could multiply, they were not too hard of opponents. Using my sword, I slayed them all and was able to get across the portal. Easy. Time to go back home. On days 29 through 33, I made it back from the nether, but there was one problem. The mutant enderman was at my base. You! What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? Enjoy this gift.
The mutant enderman summoned a giant ender golem to do his bidding. What the heck?
They should take care of you for good. Bye now.
We'll see about that. I kept battling the colossal foe and was giving it my all. Kevin even gave it some of its own medicine, but the monstrosity wouldn't give up so easily. Just die already. Eventually, Kevin and I were able to destroy the monster. Ha! Good job, Kevin. Just when I thought we were in the clear, I heard some rustling coming from the nearby trees. Prepare yourself, Kevin. This could be dangerous. What happened next was amazing. It turned out to be my dad.
Son, it's me, don't attack! Wow, look how much you've grown, kid!
Dad? Where have you been? I missed you so much.
Ever since I got teleported here, I've been looking for a way back to the end. Ed, I heard a familiar voice.
Well, I'm glad you're here now.
Speaking of the end, this world is not suitable for us shulkers. We need to get back. We'll begin the process tomorrow morning.
Sounds great. After catching up with Dad for a while, we both decided it was time for bed. I made Dad a place to sleep, and we both caught some Z's. On days 34 through 37, I woke up and realized my dad was gone. I didn't know where he was, and then began panicking. Dad, where are you? Just then, my dad appeared as he was outside gathering some wood.
Right here, son.
Oh man, what a relief. I thought I lost you again.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
I then started asking him what our plan was, as things were getting worse every moment. We need to act fast before it's too late.
I have a plan, son. We need to locate a stronghold. There will be many steps to getting there, but I know we can do it.
He then told me I needed to train before I headed off, so it was time to show him my best skills.
Training starts now. Show me what you've learned since I've been gone.
Of course, I can't wait to show you. We then began with arrow accuracy, and Dad set up a bunch of targets for me to shoot at.
Alright, son, give it your best shot.
At first, I started missing every target and felt discouraged that I wasn't showing my dad my best work.
Focus, son. It'll help you with your aim.
I reminded myself that I was a great fighter and began focusing every move until I finally started hitting them all. Next, we did some training by playing red light, green light, and I had to make sure I was hidden in my shell every time my dad turned around.
Good job. You're pretty good at this one.
Eventually, I won, and we headed to a swamp where I began fighting some slime and also some marshlanders.
I'll help you with this one.
Together, we fought against the creatures, and even though my dad helped me, I did most of the work and made him proud.
I'm impressed with you, Bronzo.
Thanks, Dad. This really helped. I'm ready for any opponent that comes my way.
Nice. I think we're ready. Let's go home now.
After a good day of training, I felt very prepared for our upcoming battles. We then headed back home to get some rest. For days 38 to 40, Kevin got some visitors, other purpur golems. Kevin, what's going on? He told me that he has to go help his people, but will meet up with me again in the end. I understand you have to help your kind. This isn't goodbye, Kevin. Just see you later. I watched Kevin and his friends leave, but now it was time to get to business.
Let's set this plan in action.
We started by finding Endermen to fight and take their Ender Pearls. This was no easy task, but with teamwork, we got enough Ender Pearls and some extra. We took some time to mine for diamonds, so I could get a full diamond armor set. Eventually, I had enough to make a chest plate, leggings, helmet, and some boots. I also went ahead and made those void arrows with the glowstone dust I got from the nether. Now I'm ready for battle.
Amazing. Now, one more test.
Dad wanted to test my building skills and timed how fast I could build a third level to the base. This is easy work. I'll also add some furniture to the third level as well. It didn't take me long to make the extension to the base, and my dad was super impressed.
Good job, boyo. I think you deserve a good night's rest.
Thanks, Dad. On days 41 through 43, Dad had told me we needed to get some blaze rods from the nether. I'm way ahead of you, Dad. I already have some.
Oh, great. Let's move on to the next step on the list.
By using ender pearls and blaze powder, we began making the eyes of ender that we would use to find the end portal. All right, I think we got what we needed. After our crafting, we went searching for the stronghold for a while until eventually we found it. I then began digging into the stronghold, and once we reached down far enough, we noticed that it was swarmed with jungleer, some ninja-like endermen. Let's fight them, Dad. We pulled out our weapons and wasted no time, immediately charging at the jungler to get them out of the way. But luckily, our team effort was enough to take them down and continue our mission. We did it! All right, let's keep moving. After killing the jungler, we continued searching for the portal room. We entered the library, which had a vast collection of books, so we gathered some of them and also some cobwebs that were around the area that we could use for string. All right, Dad, I think we got everything we needed. Let's keep moving. From days 44 through 49, Dad and I found the end portal. There it is. Finally! I placed the eyes of Ender in their designated spots, and the portal lit up.
This is it, son. Jump in.
We both jumped in and were teleported back home. Well, almost. Dad hit me with a catch.
One last thing. Before we can go home, we have to defeat the Ender Dragon.
What? Why? Can't it help us?
No, kiddo. The job of the Ender Dragon is to guard the end, not fight in measly wars. Once we kill this dragon, the portal to our home will open up and another dragon will come to take its place.
All right, if it means being able to go home, I'm in.
Great, let's rock.
Suddenly, Dad was flying. He had been saving an elytra for this very moment and began blowing up the end crystals. Go, Dad, go! While he was doing that, I was trying to distract the dragon by shooting my arrows at it. I'm sorry, but we have to kill you. The battle raged on, and we waited for every single time the dragon would come down and let us take hits on it. But while it was in the air, it was really hard to shoot my void arrows at it. It kept shooting its purple gas balls at us and would do terrible roars shooting out its poisonous gas. But eventually, Dad and I destroyed the Ender Dragon. Woohoo! We did it!
Good job, kid. I'm proud of you.
Dad was right. The portal to our home opened up, but before we went inside, Dad said there was something to do first. On days 50 through 53, Dad needed me to make 4 end crystals.
Do you happen to have any gas tiers with you?
I then realized I had left them at the base. Oh man, I should have brought them with me.
No time to waste, son. We have to get them quickly so we can summon the new Ender Dragon.
All right, let's go get him. Just then, the mutant Enderman showed up and knew that we were trying to stop him.
I know what you two are planning. Do you really believe I'll let that happen?
He then killed my father, leaving me in complete shock. Dad, how could you do this? I'm gonna kill you!
You fool! I want to see you try.
I then went through the portal and then made my way back to where I was born. But once I arrived, I noticed the entire place had been destroyed. This is terrible. That mutant Enderman is ruining everything. I felt so scared and alone, but I needed to get some rest before I could continue working. For days 54 through 58, I started gathering some purpur and endstone. This will be for you, Dad. I gathered enough materials and then started making a shulker statue in honor of my father. I know he would like this. I worked on the bottom half of the statue, and as I was building, the Endergrade showed up.
Hey there, I remember you. I'm happy to see you back here.
The Endergrade then told me that with the help of the purpur golems, he was able to find his way back.
I hate to tell you this, but I saw the purpur goblins die in battle as they fought against the Farlander Enderman army. I'm sorry for your loss.
I couldn't believe what he had just told me. Now Kevin was dead too, and I felt sadder than ever before. Everyone is dying on me.
It's a sad world, kid, but I believe in you. Keep fighting.
Thank you. Hold on. I want to give you something before you go. I then gathered some chorus fruit and gave it to the Endergrade before he departed.
Why, thank you. This is just what I needed. Good luck.
After he left, I began digging a hole under the statue for shelter and then hid for the night. From days 59 through 62, I went exploring the end. Maybe I can find something or someone to help me. I was right. I ended up finding an entire Enderman council. They were in charge of peace and fairness among Endermen. Excuse me, I need help. As you may already know, the mutant Enderman is out of control.
Is that a shulker? I'm surprised there are still any left alive.
I may be the last of my kind. What the mutant Enderman is doing is unjust.
Although we agree there is not much that we can do now, he's far too powerful, even for the likes of us.
Well, I kind of like him.
Don't mind him. He's lost his mind. How could we possibly help you now?
At least tell me where he lives, and I'll handle it myself.
You're a fool if you think you can defeat him.
Yeah, what he said.
Fine. If you won't help, then at least give me your weapon, so I can use it to battle against the mutant Enderman.
You are brave. You can use it. Fires large fireballs, but you better return it when you're done.
Thanks, I guess. With this new wand, maybe I had a chance of defeating the mutant Enderman once and for all. On days 63 through 66, I finally found the mutant Enderman's base and noticed that it was being guarded by tons of different odd-looking Endermen. All right, I need to be sneaky so they don't spot me. I knew I needed to go inside and get a closer look at what was going on, so I rolled in as quiet as possible. As I made my way inside, a guard was heading my way, so I went into my shell and blended in with the surrounding blocks until he eventually walked away. Cool, I wonder what's over there. I then continued moving and made it to the throne room, where I spotted the mutant Enderman and his son having a chat.
Son, you must know that when I die, you will be next in line to take over.
His son was quiet and didn't respond, making his dad lose his patience.
Are you even listening to me? Ha! You're such a disappointment. I can't even talk to you like a normal father.
He then left his son, and when nobody was around, I decided to kidnap him. Haha, you're coming with me. Just then, his son started making tons of weird Enderman noises to alert the base. Oh, now you decide to talk. Be quiet, you crazy. You're gonna get me killed. I then looked behind me and saw the Titan Enderman chasing me. They were very tall and had 2 heads. Oh no, I gotta get out of here. I tried fighting against it, but it was no use. So I quickly ran and placed water down the path of the Ender Titan. And once I was far enough away, they stopped and watched as I escaped. Haha! Stay hydrated, you 2-headed freak. Now let's get you out of here. On days 67 through 70, I decided to turn the hole under the statue into a cage. This is your new home, kid. I then locked up the mutant Enderman's son in the cage and felt like having a chat with him. Sorry about this. Your father is an evil monster. This is the only way to stop him.
That's fine. I don't even want to rule anyways.
I then noticed he was actually kind of nice and felt pressured to take on his father's role when he didn't want to. Well, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Even though he wasn't a threat, I still needed him captured as a power move. But just then, Kevin showed up, and I was so happy to see that he was still alive. Kevin, I thought you were gone forever. Kevin then told me his backstory of his time at war, where he fought against the Farlander Enderman army and lost his Purpur Golem friends. I'm sorry you lost your team, Kevin, but I'm glad you made it out okay. I'm working on this statue right now. Care to help me finish it? Maybe it'll help you get your mind off things. Kevin and I then started working on the statue together, and we were able to finish the top half of it. Looking good. It's almost done. I just need a few more shades of purple to make it perfect. From days 71 through 74, I did the unthinkable and returned back to the Mutant Enderman's base. And when I got there, the guards began charging at me. Stop! I need to speak to the Mutant Enderman.
You! Why should I spare your life right now?
If you kill me, you won't get to see your son again.
You're cruel. What is it that you want in exchange?
Stop your war against Shulkers and all other non-Enderman creatures and leave for good. Then I'll return your son. The Mutant Enderman pondered for a while before making a decision.
Fine. You have 4 days to return him to me. After that, the deal is off.
Deal. On days 75 through 78, I returned back to my base, only to find that Kevin had figured out I was holding the Mutant Enderman's son hostage. I then told him why I was holding him hostage, and Kevin decided the best thing to do was to kill him. No! The son is different, and he doesn't even want to rule like his father. Kevin then and there decided to kill the son, destroying our last hope at peace. Kevin, do you realize what you just did? He was our last chance of saving the world. I then began telling him about the deal I had set up with the Mutant Enderman. Now it's all ruined! Kevin then started getting sad about how bad he messed up and ran away. Wait, Kevin! From days 79 through 84, I went searching for different shades of purple. This should do just fine. I then returned to where Dad and I slayed the Ender Dragon and realized I had to spawn a new one. All right now, time to head back to my home. I then jumped into the portal to get back to the overworld and woke up in my bed. I feel like there's something out there. I then grabbed the gas tiers, stepped outside, and saw that the entire place was filled with wastelanders. Get away from my home, you freaks! These wastelanders were like Endermen that were consumed by the nether. I quickly pulled out my weapon and charged at them so they would stay away from my base, but there were way too many of them. Back off! At one point, I even hid in the water to be sneaky since they couldn't follow me. Luckily, the Crimsoner showed up and helped me fight using their teleportation ability to body slam the other Endermen and kill them. Together, we defeated all the wastelanders, and after the fight, I noticed that the Crimsoner seemed upset with me. Thanks for helping me out there. Is everything okay?
Not really. The entire overworld is filled with Farlanders.
Don't you worry. I am already working on it. But first, I need to respawn the Ender Dragon. I need to go do that now. He then gave me a boomerang, which I could use to pick up items and defeat my enemies.
This will help you. Good luck. I believe in you, Bronzo.
I took the special weapon he gave me, thanked him, and then headed out to the stronghold. On days 85 through 89, I made it back to the stronghold and saw that it was swarmed with many tundra men, ice-cold endermen. You're gonna die, you monsters! This was the perfect chance to test out my new boomerang, and I also used my diamond sword to fight. Wow, this thing is really strong! The fight against the tundra men was a lot. They were ice-cold fighters, but in the end, I became victorious and made my way to the end portal. All right, time to jump in. When I got through the other side, I immediately started working on making these end crystals out of glass, eyes of ender, and of course, those ghast tears. I placed the crystals around the portal and watched as the ritual started, but I did not want to be there for when the actual dragon came back. Time to roll out. I made my way to the portal to the end cities and jumped in right as the dragon respawned. Welcome back, Queen. Now I gotta go. On days 90 through 93, I made it back to the base, but the mutant enderman was waiting for me.
Time's up. Where's my son?
I didn't know how to tell him, but I knew I had to tell him the truth. I'm sorry, but your son is dead. I didn't mean to kill him, but also, now we are even. Your son for my dad.
You will pay for this!
As revenge, the Enderman blew up my entire statue. No! I worked so hard on that! You big meanie!
Looked pretty easy to make to me. Plus, it was kinda lame.
You take that back!
No, it was totally lame.
Enough! Let's settle this the honorable way. In battle!
If that is what you want, you know where to find me. Come to me when you're ready to die.
Then, he just left me there, standing in the rubble of my beautiful statue. From days 94 through 96, I decided to rebuild the statue. Time to find more resources. I then went into this purple forest and got a bunch of purple wood. These will be great for the little details of my statue. Then as I was chopping down some trees, I got a visit from my old pal Kevin. Where have you been? That's all right, Kevin. I'm sorry for your friends, and I'm glad you're okay. Could you give me a hand? Kevin then helped me with the statue, and eventually we completed it together. Nice job! This makes me wonder if there are any shulkers left. Kevin and I decided to head out and look for more of my kind. From days 97 to 98, I found a shulker, but he was talking to the mutant enderman. Whoa, there are other shulkers alive! At first I was happy, but then I watched as the mutant enderman turned the regular shulker into a mutant shulker. What? No! That's evil!
Hey, get that shulker! I'm out of here!
I then charged at the mutant shulker to put it out of its misery. I began fighting the shulker freak, but it was tough fighting a bigger and stronger version of yourself who blasted shulker bullets everywhere. So I had to use my speed to my advantage. I don't want to do this. Shulkers should all live in harmony. I can't do this, Kevin. You do it. Kevin ultimately defeated the mutant shulker. Why? Why? It's okay. It's okay. I know it had to be done, Kevin. After the fight, I decided it was time to head back home and prepare some last-minute things before my final battle against the mutant enderman. On day 99, I finally made it back to the base and wanted to leave a message for anyone who ever saw the statue. I want to make sure this masterpiece is seen and heard. I then started making a few signs out of leftover wood I had stored and began writing some important messages on them. Of course, these signs are so everyone can see that I need them to like the video, subscribe to Bronzo, hit the bell so you never miss a video, and comment on what kind of mob they want to see me be next. Great! I appreciate it. We then headed off and made our way to the mutant enderman for the final battle. It was day 100. Kevin and I finally made it to the mutant enderman's base, and we were ready to confront him. It all ends here, you monster.
I agree. And after I kill you, the end will be all mine. Then the overworld, and finally, the nether.
I'm not letting that happen, you fool. We then pulled out our weapons, and the fighting began. The mutant Endermen had teleportation powers that they used to teleport us to the top of the building.
You don't stand a chance against me, Bronzo.
We'll see about that. I used all my strong weapons and shulker bullets to shoot him and make him weak. Kevin helped me fight by using his void powers. And suddenly, the mutant Endermen spawned several ghost minions surrounding Kevin, killing him instantly. Kevin! No! How dare you kill my friend!
You're next.
Once Kevin died, he dropped a void core, so I picked it up and used it on the mutant Enderman. I was so mad and fought even harder now.
Give up now, will you? It's no use.
I don't think so. I fought against the Enderman with all my might until I finally slayed him and won the battle. Yes, let's go! Bronzo!